Okay, so let's start with today's discussion. I would like to discuss with you some basics of how we can handle functions in C programming, which I have already started in the last class. I have given some basic intuitions regarding function in C programming. What is function? What are the various advantages of function? What are the various kind of uses of functions? Okay, and I just today I just want to start with the basic structure of the function. That means when you are writing some function in your C programming, how the basic structure you are going to think, or how the basic structure you are going to design during the C coding, that you have to know before learning a function. Okay, so in the last class I discussed about a function. A function is nothing but a self-contained block of codes or self-contained block of programming statements which will be used for some particular task or for some specific task. Okay, as I already gave you the real life example of functions, that you are throwing a birthday party. So you are the main function because you are the main organizer of that birthday party, and you are giving duties or responsibility to some of your friends. So one friends will take care about your birthday cake. So he is one sub function will do some particular task. Okay, then he will give the responsibility to the second friend who will take care of the decoration of the party. So he is the second sub function which who will do some specific amounts of specific task or some particular task. Then he will give a responsibility to the third friend to take care about the catering or fooding kind of things. Okay, so this is your third friend who will do some specific task, and all of those three friends are reporting to you because you are the main function, or you can say you are the main organizer of the party. Okay, so you are the main source of the party because this is your birthday. Okay, and you are throwing the party, so all those friends or all those sub functions are reporting to the main functions. So generally one thing you should learn from overall from this scenario, that the each and every C program must have one and only one main function, but the C program may have multiple sub functions. Okay, one or more sub functions, but the initiation of any sub function should be done from the main function. What I have said, initiation, that means the calling of one sub function should be done from the main function, because you are calling your friends, because you are giving responsibility to your friends and you are calling your friends from your house. That means you are the birthday party organizer, so you are the main function, so you are calling your friends. So one initiation, at least one initiation must be needed from your end. So you can call all those three friends individually, one by one. Okay, it may be possible those three friends are not related with each other. They are friends of yours, but they are not friend of each other. It may be possible because friend number one, friend number two, and friend number three, who has been given some specific or particular amount of tasks, so that those friends are not related, or each are not in their friendship with each other. Okay, but they are friends of you. Okay, they are individual friends of you, know them individually. Okay, but they don't know each other. It may be possible this is one case. So in that case you will have to call each and individual friends, or you have to call each and individual sub function from your main function. That this is the first case. In the second case, suppose those friends are already known to each other, they are also friends among themselves. Okay, so you are calling just first friend, then the first friend will call your second friend, and then the second friend will call your third friend. So you are not taking a responsibility to call all the three friends. You are just taking the responsibility to initiate the calling of the first friend. Then this is a responsibility of your first friend, because first friend is your best friend, best buddy among all the three friends, right? So that is the responsibility of first friend to call the second friend, and then this is the responsibility of second friend to call the third friend. It is like a chain system. So these are the two different ways the main method can call functions. Okay, I think you can understand the concept. So there should be only one main method. It cannot be more than one main method in C programming. That must be clear. Okay, then from the main method, and then from that particular main method, you can call only one sub method or sub function. Okay, and that sub function will call another sub function. and another sub-function will call some another sub-function. So this is a chain type of system or transitive type of dependency. Okay, A tends to B, then B tends to C, then C tends to D, like this. Okay, this is the first way. And second way is that all the three sub-functions are not related with each other. They are independent of each other. So you have to call, because those three sub-functions are independent of each other, that's why you have to call each and individual sub-function individually from your main function. That means from the main function, you will call sub-function 1 first, then you will call sub-function 2 first, then you will call sub-function 3 first. Because those three sub-functions are independent of each other, they are not related with each other. So they have no power to call each other. Understood? These are the two scenarios that you have to maintain while you are doing a functions program. Clear? This conception is clear? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any doubt?
Yes, sir.
These are overall scenario. I am giving a real life example, and based on that real life example, I have discussed about the overall scenario, right? Today, I want to show a very basic 1 or 2 program that how we can design a function in a C program, because today your main objective is to complete the assignments on string, okay, which we have already completed a discussion in the last couple of classes, okay. So functions are generally designed, or the function has mainly 4 components or 4 elements. These are the 4 elements. One second, let me share the screen. Okay, I think the screen is visible to you. So these are the basic elements of any user-defined function. In last class, I have told there are 2 kind of functions. One is system-defined or built-in function. Second one is user-defined function. So we are not take care, or we are not considering about the concerning about the system-defined or built-in functions, because those functions are totally system-defined in the system-specific header files, and their jobs, their task, everything has been predefined into the system. So we cannot change their job or task. For those job or tasks, they can be specific for their particular job or task. We can call whenever we want to perform that particular job or task. We just simply call that function by attaching those header file as a preprocessor in our C program. We can do that. Okay, but we cannot change its duty or its job or its task. It is not possible. So if we want to design, or if you want to build our own function, okay, with a user defined name, okay, that means the name has been defined by the user, the structure of the function has been defined by the user itself, or the programmer itself, or the developer itself. So there should not be any interception of the system for the user defined function. That is totally specific for the user to design, to structure. So that kind of function is called user defined functions, the function which can be defined by the user itself. Okay, so this user defined function are generally consist of these 4 components. One is function prototype declaration. Second one is function call. Third one is function arguments and parameters. And fourth one is function definitions. Okay, mainly 3 types. Mainly these elements are 3 types. I think you should remember the 3 types. The 3 types will be enough. Okay, one is function prototype. Second one is function call, and third one is function definition. You don't need to remember these things, because these arguments and parameter passing are the embedded part or implicit part of function call and function definitions. Okay, so you don't need to require to represent this one as a separate elements. Okay, so you have to remember there are 3 elements when you are defining the user defined function. You have to define these 3 elements separately. Okay, that means all these 3 elements are present in your function definition in your C program or not, that you will have to check. Okay, the first one is function prototype declaration. Second one is function call. Third one is function definition. Okay, just like variable ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু আমরা মোটামুটি এরকমই করে থাকি, except the variable call we can do the others too. First one is variable declaration int a. Second one is variable initialization or variable definition int a equal to 10, that I have given some value to the variable. So this kind of thing we can implement with the help of function strategy in C programming. Okay, so let me tell you what is a function prototype declaration. So I think all of you have already see how what is a prototype? Can anyone tell me what is a prototype? Anyone has any idea about this term prototype? So I think whenever you will go to see any kind of big building structure, you will get some sort of a toy implementation of that building. Have you got it? Konin dekhecho? The toy implementation of that building. যেটা গ্লাস বক্সে আটকানো থাকে ঢাকা থাকে।
Yes sir দেখে।
So that is called actually prototype. Why those toy implementation is called a prototype? Like আমাদের কিন্তু জিস ইউনিভার্সিটিতে when you will enter into your university, দেখবে একদম ground floor at the right hand of at the beside of that reception desk, you will get a prototype of our GC University. If anyone have checked it or not,
Yes,
I don't
sir,
know.
we have seen.
Yes, that is a prototype. You have feel that you can think that this is the entire GC University, how it will look like. Okay, বাইরে থেকে সবাই তো ঘুরে ঘুরে দেখতে পারে না, it's not possible. It is a time taking to physically check all the entire university infrastructure. So they can check it by just have a look from the prototype. Okay, just have a look from the prototype. So it is a toy implementation or a demo implementation of the entire university. In a similar way, each and every function has a prototype declaration. That means by looking at the prototype declaration, you can understood that, okay, these functions definitions are present into your program. I have already told you can have a multiple function definitions, multiple sub functions you may have, or multiple function definition you may have. So each sub function must have one prototype declaration in your C program. So if your program has suppose 15 sub function, then your prototype declaration should be 15 at your C program. Okay. So what is the prototype declaration? So it specifies the type of value that is to be returned from the function and that is to be passed to the function. Okay. So it is defined in the beginning before the function call is made. This is very important, where the prototype declaration should place in your C program. It is defined in the beginning before the function call is made. So function call, how again this prototype declaration has been done. So this is a prototype declaration, void sum int comma int. Okay, so what is the prototype declaration consist of? First prototype declaration consists of return type. Okay, all of you are already familiar with this return type. That means it may be a void main you have already used, okay, as a return type. So void means no return value. Okay, this return type can be different kinds of return type can be possible. Okay, either void or integer return type or character return type or float return type, any kind of, or double return type, long return type, any kind of return type is possible, right? And if you use void, that means no return type, null. Okay, void means no return type. Then name of the function, that means the functions that you are going to use in your program. So you have to mention this name. Okay, so one thing you should remember, this name of the functions and the return type or the argument, whatever you have declared here, that should be exactly match with the function call along with the function definition. If there will be any kind of mismatch of your function prototype declaration with your function definition and function call, then the compiler will throw an error. অবশ্যই বুঝতে পারছো, because you are implementing a toy implementation or prototype implementation of a GC University. Obviously the original GC University should be similar with that toy implementation, otherwise there should be a mismatch. That means there should be any value of toy implementation, right? So in that case, that's why I have said that whatever you have used to declare a prototype declaration, function prototype declaration, the function call, function definition, all the structure, the name of the function, all the return types, argument passing, everything should be exactly match with the function prototype declaration. It should not be any kind of mismatch. You have to remember it. Okay. Second one is, within parentheses we have to pass list of arguments. Within parentheses we have to pass list of arguments, right? What that I will tell you. Within parentheses we can pass one or more arguments. Okay, arguments we have already passed it. I have already shown you how we can pass some values, we can pass through a function, some variables we can pass through a functions. Okay, that is called argument passing, and that value or variable can be either integer type or float type or character type. Any kind of value or variable can be possible. Okay, now I am going to show you a very basic one. Now this is a function call. So function call, I already told, function call can be possible in two different situations. In the first situation, when the sub functions are not related with each other, then in that case, your main method will take the responsibility to call individual function from its main method itself. Okay, and if the sub functions are related with each other, then it is a chain system. That means main method calls first sub function, then that first sub function call second sub function, then the second sub function call third sub function, and so on. But one thing you should remember, your main method should be the initiator, because compiler does not understand anything outside the main method. So your main method should be the initiator, should be the connector. If your main method does not connect any other sub function, then those sub functions will not be compiled by your compiler. Okay, those sub functions will not be compiled by your compiler, because you have already arranged a birthday party and you have invited your 3 friends to do some particular job or to give them some specific task. Suppose there is another friend number 4, who is doing some task for your birthday party, whom you didn't invite, যাকে তুমি ইনভাইটই করনি, সে বাইরে থেকে কিছু একটা কাজ করছে for your birthday party. So do you think that friend will be is allowed to enter into a birthday party? Is there any kind of chance of friend number 4 to be taken part in your birthday party, because you didn't invite him? So obviously that friend number 4, how much work he or she will do, you didn't invite him, so his or her work doesn't create any matter in your birthday party. So that is the case. That is I am trying to say. Your compiler will only know your main function. So whatever job you will do within the main function, your compiler only compile those functions which you are calling from your main functions. Okay. So chain system is also possible. So because you are calling the first sub function from your main function, and that first sub function is again called another sub function from its own function. So that chaining system is possible. Okay. So this is a function call, and this is the function definition. Now let's just write one simple program for you. This one simple program, how to define a function, right? Very simple. I am not using any return type. I am just using all the cases I am using null as a return type. Okay. So look at this program very carefully. Look at this program very carefully. This is such kind of program with no return type, but with arguments. What I have said, it is no return type, but লেখার দরকার নেই, with arguments. Arguments or parameters, whatever you say. No return type with argument. So here void I have used. Void means no return type. Void means no return type or null. Okay. So this is a function prototype declaration. So function prototype declaration is always ended with a semicolon. It's always ended with a semicolon, and that should be declared before the main method. Function prototype declaration should be declared before the main method. Okay. So here I have used a system different function sum, whose job is to perform summation between 2 variables. That all of you know that. And between 2 variables means suppose 2 integer variables. We want to perform a summation between 2 integer variables. So that's why I have passed 2 arguments, integer type, as a argument passing through the function prototype declaration. And one thing you should remember, in the function prototype declaration, we should not mention the name of the variable here. We only mention the data type which you are passing as a variable. Clear? In the function prototype declaration, we will only mention the data type that the data type that the variables are occupying during the job of the function definition. Only data types. It should not contain any other variable's name or anything else. Okay, because function prototype declaration has been done before the main method. So here I didn't declare any kind of variable before it. So we cannot use any variable name here. It will give an error, right? So semicolon must be there at the end of the function prototype declaration. Okay. Now check the function call. Where I have done the function call, this is the function call. This is the function call. This is the function call. Look how I have done the function call. Try to match it. Okay. So I have used the similar function name during the function call. From where I did the function call? From main method I did the function call. I have told multiple times. Okay, main method should be the initiator of the function call. So from main method, so this sum is your friend one, friend number one. This sum. Okay, so this is your friend number one, and we pass two parameters x and y, or two variables x and y as an argument or as a parameters. And obviously these two variables are integer type because I have defined it as integer. Int x equal to 6 and y equal to 5. You can take the value of these two integer through scanf function. It's your choice. Okay, I have declared it compile time for sake of simplicity, right? So sum equal to x comma y. I think it is clear to everyone. Right? So we made a function call sum equal to x comma y. Bas, that is enough to call a function. Now the control is during the call. The control is here. Okay. So when the call is made, the control jumps outside the main method, and it is trying to find is there any function definition present of the similar name of sum along with these two variable. Ki bollam? During the function call, when you are calling the function, your control is placing here, the program control. Okay. After the function call, the program control will jump outside the main method, and it will searching that is there any functions or sub functions are present into your program with the same name and same variable type or same argument type. If it is there, then it will simply execute that one. If it is not there, it will give an error here. What error? That you have called the functions, sub function, but sub function definition is not present in your program. Understood? Do you understand? Proত্যেকে বুঝতে পারছো what I am trying to say?
Yes,
is it clear to everyone? If anyone has any doubt, please ask me. If anyone has any doubt, please ask me.
Sir,
Follow.
Sir, the header file you have used ponyo.h.
Don't require. These I have used. You don't require all these header files. Okay. This I have by default written. You don't require.
For seeing and see how it is.
No, you don't require. Any other problem regarding this function call, function prototype, and function definition? Try to understand. So this is a function call. Now the program control reach to the function definition. This is a function definition. Okay. So difference. Try to understand the difference between these three in terms of representation: function prototype declaration, function definition, and function call. Can anyone tell me the difference between these three by checking this program? Any one of you can tell me the difference. What is the difference between function prototype declaration, function call, and function definition? Any one of you?
Yes, sir. This wide prototype declaration declares that it is type of like both variables are in type, and the second one is function call. It calls the function like if I just put the variable and it just go to outside the function, as you say.
Outside the function. It's the function in the
main it's just like your friend calling. You are calling your friends to give some specific task to do to organize the birthday party. So this is the task of your friend.
Yeah, this
what is the task of your friend? Summation of two numbers. That is the task of your friend. Okay. So this is the simple function as all of you know it. I think it is known to you. Don't require the return here. It is known to you how to perform the summation. Okay, how to perform the summation. I think you know it. So s equal to s plus y, and here I have print the value of the summation s. Okay, because the summation result has been stored into s variable, so I print the value s here, and x plus y has been there. So try to understand these things. The argument passing. Try to look at the argument passing very carefully. What is the changes we have seen during the argument passing in between function call, function prototype declaration, function call, and function definition? Try to understand. In function definition, both data type and the variable are present. What I have said in function definition, both data type and the variable are present. Clear? Because within this variable, you are passing these two values. So variable x is 6 and variable y is 5. So 6 and 5 you are passing during the function call. System type pass kore diche. Program control pass those two values for you. Okay, 6 and 5. And this 6 and 5 has been received by these two variable x and y during the function definition. So whenever you are applying this s equal to x plus y, that means 6 plus 5 is happened because 6 and 5 is passing during the function call and it will catch here. It will pass from here and it will catch by the function definition. Okay, so function definition contains both data type and variable name as a argument, whereas function call contains only the variable name as an argument and function prototype contains only the data type name as an argument. You have to be specifically distinguish these three things. Okay, this is the syntax of how we can write function prototype declaration, function definition, and function call. Now within this function call, the return type should be similar. Here I have used a similar return type, void and void. Function call does not require any kind of return type. I am telling again, function call does not require any kind of return type. Okay, but function prototype declaration and function definition must have a similar return type. It should be matched. পুরোটাই match করছে এর সাথে. I think all of you agree with me. All these things will be matched. Logically, these things will be matched. Now,
Yes, sir.
Now the program control after executing the job of the sum function, the program controls when reaches at this point, that means the line number 22 at this ending bracket of the sub function, then it will return again into the next line of the call function. Which one is the call function line? 13 number. Which one is the next line? Return 0. So the function control will return to the next line after the function call. Okay, so function control starts from main method. Function control comes here into line number 1, line number 9. Then it will come here into line number 10. Initialize the two variable x by 6 and y by 5. Then it will print these two operations and then go to function call. And when it will reach the function call, it will jump outside of this function and come here. That whether any function definition has been present with this similar name and similar argument type. If it is present, it will simply execute the task of it and return the control again to the next line of the function call. After completion of this task, the control returns again to the next line of the function call. And if it is not present, it will simply give error. Okay, let's check it out whether it will give error or not. Okay, look, it gives error. You have done this call, but you didn't do any function definition. That's why it's give error, right? It gives error. Now I am running this code. So here it gives you the result. Okay, 6 plus 5, 11. So it gives you the correct result. Are you agree with me? প্রত্যেকে বুঝতে পারলে? This is called a function. Yes, a program can be written in such a way. So suppose this is friend number 1. Now this is friend number 1. Okay. Now you are giving the second job to the friend number 2, whose job is to perform subtraction. So your second sub function is subtraction among this same variable. You either use same variable, you may use different variables, your choice. তুমি আরো দুটো ভেরিয়েবল এখানে ডিক্লেয়ার করতে পারো। Suppose int a equal to 7 and b equal to suppose 2. You can do it. And during the subtraction, instead of passing x and y, you should pass a and b. This is the second function call. This is the second function call. So I have already told your program may have multiple sub functions. Okay, multiple friends is possible in your birthday party. So here you did a function call. So obviously you have to write a function definition here. Otherwise it will give error. I think all of you agree with me. And this is the definition of the friend number 2. So this is a function call sub, and here I am using a and b.
So we can use other variables also, sir.
Yes, 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 yes. Right now, don't make it confused. In the next class, I will show how we can use other variable. Okay, I don't want to make it confusion. Okay, so this is the subtraction. Okay, this is a subtraction. One thing I have missed. What is that thing? The prototype declaration. The prototype declaration of this function, sub function. So that you have to be maintained here. I'm telling you multiple times that whatever function call you will have to do the corresponding function definition, and you will have to do the corresponding function prototype declaration. Both are important. Okay, and the name and the arguments, type of the arguments should be similar during the call, during the prototype declaration, and during the function definitions. Okay, let's run it. Clear? Sum is 11, new line dini. Sum is 11 and sub is 5. Okay, is it clear? You can either use different variable or you can use the same similar variable. Okay, this is your choice. It's based on the application of the programmer. Is it clear? Anyone has any doubt? So multiple sub functions can be possible. Is it clear to everyone? Proত্যেকে বুঝতে পারছো বলো? So the function which will execute first, those which you call first, that is another logic. So if you call the sum function after the sub function, then the sub function will execute first, then the sum function will execute. Okay, obviously to je friend ke aage call korbe she tar kajta age pabe, so that friend will do to complete his job first. Okay, so sub function will execute first and then the sum function. In the previous case, sum function will execute first, then the sub function, because you have called the sum function earlier than the sub function. Okay, I think it is possible. It is clear to everyone. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there are some other forms of functions that I will show in my next theory class. Okay, tomorrow I will show what are the other kinds of formation of the functions. So this is the one formation of the functions. Okay, so with no argument with return types. Oh, it is looking like this 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1 type of kind of things. Okay, you can compare with this. So first 0 will represent number of arguments, means with arguments or no arguments. 0 means no arguments and 1 means with arguments. And second digit will represent your return type, or you can interchange. The first digit will represent the return type and second digit will represent the number of arguments. So you can interpret it as this 0, 0 means no return type, no argument. This 0, 1 means no return type but with argument. Okay, this 1, 0 means with return type but no argument, and this 1, 1 means with return type and with argument. Clear? These are the 4 kind of classification based on the return type and arguments. You can classify the functions into these 4 types. Understood? So তার মধ্যে একটা টাইপই আমি তোমাকে আজকে দেখালাম. This is the one type. No return type and with arguments. এটা মানে কোন বুলিয়ানটা? Which boolean? This one.
0, 1.
0, 1. Okay. So in the next class, I will show you the other 3 kinds of formation. Okay. Is it clear to everyone? বুঝতে পারলে? আচ্ছা, এটা তোমাকে দেখালাম. These things I have shown that.
Sir, someone wants to join, sir.
Google Meet এটাই প্রবলেম. বেরিয়ে গেলে একবার স্ক্রিন থেকে বেরিয়ে গেলে trying to everyone joining. Okay, so here I have shown that main method is the main caller of the sub functions. Okay, and these sub functions are independent of each other, because that means this friend number 1 and friend number 2 are friend of this main function. So suppose you are the main function. Okay, so these 2 are of your friends, so you know both of them, but they are independent of each other. They doesn't know each other. They don't know each other. They don't know each other. They are not friends. They are independent from each other. They are not friends of each other. Okay, so this is the case that I have already explained to you. Now the second case is that suppose you have just initiate or call the first friend, and this is a responsibility of the first friend to call the second friend. It's like a chain method. Okay, so how he can do it? Very simple. The first friend has a sum function, summation function. So we will just omit this function from here, and we can call this function under the sub function of friend number 1. Understood? This is a chain property. I have already told you. So function call initiation is possible from main method. You have initiate by calling the first friend, and now this is a responsibility of first friend to call the second friend or the second sub function. Okay, but the problem is that if you define A and B here, it is not taken the value from here. You have to define the value of A and B separately from here. So instead of A and B, suppose I am using X and Y here.
So it will
It's
work.
possible.
So it will work.
It will work. Okay, because A and B is local to this function. So whenever you are taking the function outside of this, the function call outside of this A and B is totally global from this function. So it cannot recognize it. But X and Y is recognized. Why? Because X and Y you have passed it from this function. So if this can recognize X and Y, this can also recognize X and Y. So I simply change X and Y from here. It requires practice, okay? Because these are various forms. Now, you can ask me, sir, which form we should use. That is totally the choice of the programmer, which form they will use. Okay, which kind of structure they will use. Okay, so this is another chain form. Okay, not only that, one friend can call multiple sub function as well. Suppose the next function is suppose mult for multiplication, x comma y. It is possible. Okay, it is possible. Then the next function suppose division, x comma y. It is also possible. Okay, so one friend can call multiple sub function as well. It's like a hierarchical structure. Hierarchical structure means like a tree structure, one root and multiple nodes. Okay, one root and multiple nodes. It's possible. So that I will show in the next class. So this is the overall thing that is mentioning in front of you. So today I want to give you only one program regarding function you will do. That program is that you have to implement a factorial of a number. That means you have to find a factorial of a number using a function. যেটা আমি দেখেছি সেটা দিয়ে তোমরা করো, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। Okay, these things you can do. কি বললাম? You have to implement a factorial of a number with the help of a function. এতদিন তোমরা factorial already basic factorial implementation তোমাকে শিখিয়েছি, is the basic factorial implementation. But here I didn't use any kind of function call or sub function. But today in your program you will have to do this job by calling or through calling a sub function called fact or factorial, whatever you sub function name you are going to give. Okay, that is the only one program that I am giving to you regarding function. Then in the next lab we will do several programs on functions. Clear? Is it clear? What you will need to do, is it clear to you? Along with the string programs, you will have to do only one program that you have to implement factorial or find a number, factorial of a number using function, user defined function. Okay, clear? Is it clear to everyone? Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One thing you should remember, you should know that I didn't tell you yet. Just like the variable name and keyword, that means you are not allowed to use the similar name of the keyword as a variable name. I think you already know it. Okay, because C has 32 keywords and you are not allowed to use any keyword name similar to a variable name. In the similar way, while you are defining a user defined function, that user defined function name should not be similar with any other system defined function name. Means you cannot use a similar name of built-in function for the user defined function.